be 7 a.m. tomorrow, but also that there's an expectation of significant winter weather. It may not be a blizzard because of the wind, but still high winds with lake effect snow through all day tomorrow, all day Christmas. The bands will be moving south, and to be followed by additional snow on Monday. Not blizzard conditions, but additional snow that will pile up on top of everything we had. At the time that we talked, a little over an hour and a half ago, the Weather Service had noted that this could still continue for another 36 hours at that point, which was very, very depressing, to put it mildly, because none of us want to be dealing with this for the next 36 hours. But we do know that a blizzard a warning is still in effect officially through 7 a.m. Tomorrow morning, and then there is expectation still of lake effect snows in the region, even if the blizzard warning is lifted because the winds have subsided. Power outage. National Grid has more than 25,000 outages across Erie County, 20,000 plus which are in the city of Buffalo. Buffalo Department of Public Works, as well as the Erie County Department of Public Works, are helping to open up areas around National Grid substations so they can get in there and try to re-energize neighborhoods. It's possible that some of these large outages are substations, and once they are able to fix the substation, they'll be able to get a lot of people back online. And they're trying to repower as many as possible by the end of the night. However, and this is also depressing for those who may be dealing with power outages, I was advised by the National Grid Regional President that some may not be restored until late Monday because they still need to assess damage in neighborhoods. So it is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday. It is possible that some of the neighborhoods in the city of Buffalo may not be energized until late Monday. The National Grid site knows that restoration expectation in Erie County is listed as 11 p.m. on December 24th. That is not accurate. The National Grid president told me that. It is not accurate. Restoration will probably not happen for most people until tomorrow, Christmas, and Monday. So unfortunately, many people, thousands, are going to still be going through the night without power, which for them also means without heat. And we are very concerned about that. They have thankfully been able to get into some neighborhoods and restore power in areas, but then just as soon as they've restored it in one area, it's lost in another. There are sporadic National Grid outages in other parts of the county, but it is in the city of Buffalo that has the vast majority of outages. NYSEG has done a very good job of trying to restore power in areas where they've lost it. Last I saw, there was about 5,000 outages in Erie County. That area has not been hit as hard by the blizzard, but they have been able to get out in the daylight and overnight hours to restore some individuals. I understand for those who are dealing with a cold house that this is very, very uncomfortable and in some ways can be life-threatening. And I do offer my compassion towards you because we understand that this is very, very bad. But we are working as best as possible to help National Grid re-energize neighborhoods as quickly as possible. We are concerned about the overnight hours with the bitter cold temperatures once again. That houses that were down to 40 degrees this afternoon are even going to be colder. And that's why if you are in a life-threatening situation, there are numbers to call in which we can hopefully get you. But as I will talk about in a moment, we can't just pick up everybody and take you to a warming center. We don't have the capability of doing that, and many, many neighborhoods, especially in the city of Buffalo, are still impassable. With that, I'm going to turn over to our Department of Public Works Commissioner Bill Geary to talk about Public Works. They have been able to do very good work during the daylight hours, opening up many roads, but as we're hearing, we open up a road, we get a lane through so it's open for emergency traffic, and then someone gets stuck very soon thereafter, so a road that was opened is now closed because somebody who shouldn't be driving is on the road. But I do want to commend the Public Works officials who've worked exceptionally hard to get us to the position where we are today, where we do have main roads open that were closed. Commissioner?
Thank you. Good evening. So the Department of Public Works has been out on all the roads this afternoon. We actually brought in some assets from our southern districts. The weather down there is probably, especially if you're watching, you probably don't think it's a blizzard when you can see the sun. However, we did bring up our blowers and a couple other big specialized pieces of equipment along with a couple plows. They've been up assisting the northern districts that have been back out on the roads since this morning. We've been working with tow contractors. We also have our contract high lifts in. We have about 30 out right now from Akron, Newstead area, Clarence and Amherst, Cheektowaga, the Tonawondas and Kenmore, and even in the Lancaster area. So we have assets almost everywhere, to include the city of Buffalo. As County Executive said, our mission right now is to try and assist the Department of Public Works in the city of Buffalo to also work with National Grid and get those power stations open so that they can work on them and hopefully get everything restored. There will be more equipment coming in. We do not and will not rest tonight. We're going to be working through the overnight hours. Our contractors, we have full complement. We'll do shift change sometime tomorrow morning. Same with all our men and women that are in the county plow trucks, as well as out working on the streets trying to help out with the tow contractors. We will be moving vehicles. Eventually, we'll actually have a site up that will tell you where your car's at. But right now, all I can ask is please do not go out. I know it's Christmas Eve. Stay home. You probably had plans. Everybody had plans, the men and women working from law enforcement and especially the emergency responders. We've all delayed our plans. It'll make it a lot faster, the cleanup. Hopefully tonight, we'll have the heavy snows out of the city area as well as the north towns and settling into ski country. And we're waiting for it down there, I can tell you that. So with that, just be safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. The state of emergency is still in effect for all of Erie County, including a driving ban. We've had some people say, why is there a driving ban in some parts of southern Erie County where it is not bad? Well, the snow is expected to drop south during these late afternoon, overnight hours. I don't know when it's going to hit. We don't want people on the roads in areas where the snow band is expected to come and then find themselves in blizzard conditions. And now not only do we have people stuck up here in the north towns and central part of the county, then we have people stuck in the southern, southern part of the county. So it is very, very concerning about that. I am going to turn it over to our Deputy Commissioner for the Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Services, Greg Butcher, to talk a little bit about some of the rescue missions they've been doing, but also what we've heard about individuals who are getting on the roads and unfortunately creating significant problems for us, because then they get stuck themselves on a road we just cleared. So, Greg?
Thank you, County Executive. Good evening, everyone. I know it may sound like we're repeating the broken record here, but the conditions are considered treacherous out on the road. And I know I'm speaking for not only all of the first responders, police, fire, and EMS, but also from our public works and highway partners in this event. Every time we clear a road, they are not fully clear. They're clear enough so that first responders and other equipment can get by. That being said, as the county executive alluded to, we have several people that are making efforts to get out on the road, and they're then getting stuck. That makes it very difficult. We still have people that we are attempting to rescue from their vehicles. I know this has been many hours that this has been going on, but rescues are still underway. We just don't have the capacity. Again, I've mentioned it, as has the Weather Service and the county executive. With treacherous conditions that are going on outside, it is very difficult to get to people. We're making every effort to take care of that, but the more people stay off the road, the easier it will be for the first responders to get out there and effect rescues. Police and fire agencies are going above and beyond to try and get to people by putting themselves in harm's way. The other individuals who get on the road unnecessarily during not only the state of emergency, but the driving ban, that impacts us even more and makes it much more difficult. A couple of things to remember: the snow is continuing to drift, as you heard. While the term blizzard category may end at 7 a.m., this will still be a significant storm for days to come, with the high 30s and possible 40-mile-an-hour gusts that will continue to drift this snow. Other storms have never reached the blizzard mark and have been significant for Western New York. So this is still a significant event for us. Remember to clear off the vents around your furnaces so that you can avoid any undue need for carbon monoxide in your home. Also, if you have to use a generator because you lose power, make sure that it's properly ventilated and away from your home. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. The ones who can basically say exactly what's going on the most out there are law enforcement and first responders who've been responding to these emergency situations. And they are putting their lives on the line, because when a first responder goes out, they are not always getting to where they need to be because they themselves are entering treacherous conditions where they can't get to a person who's stuck in a vehicle because they're blocked, because of traffic or because of the conditions. I'd like to turn it over to the Erie County Sheriff's Office. We have Chief Green and Chief Blitzolaro here to talk a little bit about what they've been seeing and still are seeing. This is not something that's over with. People are like, hey, it's a little bit better. Bills game was on. We're feeling good. The Bills won. The Bills game may be over with, but the snowstorm, the blizzard is not. And there are people putting their lives on the line to save those who unfortunately have been recklessly going out and when they didn't need to, and then having to be rescued. So, Chief?
Thank you, County Executive. Merry Christmas to everybody. I want to thank the County Executive, Greg Butcher, Billy Geary, Chief Greenan. It's been a challenging 24 hours for the Sheriff's Office, but also for the Public Works, Emergency Services, and County Executive polling cars, who's been here every minute of this storm. I just want to say it's been an honor to network and collaborate with these fine agencies and try to spearhead some of these rescues. More to that, we have in the QRF, which is the Quick Reaction Force, who I am in charge of. They are cross-trained in snow rescue. They go out to Colorado once a year, spend a week out there, and do all sorts of training for situations just like this. Last night, about 6 to 7 of the deputies left Ridge Road, out Ridge, where we're stationed out in Orchard Park, and left and made it their way up Southwestern to Transit Road to a very problem area, which is up in Clarence. They had a 3-man team on a track all-terrain vehicle, and then I had 2 2-man teams on snow sleds, snowmobiles. And they have made, to this point, north of 50 rescues to this point, one being a small child. We have also rescued deputies trying to get into work, or deputies that were responding to a 911 call and got derailed and went off the road. Some, their gas tanks were low. They got to those deputies, got them to a warming shelter. The deputies that I just talked about spent the night at the main transit fire hall. They have been working more than 24 hours at the moment, with some rest in between. They've been finding individuals stuck in cars and transporting them to warming cell shelters. I can't reiterate more the urgency. This is a dangerous storm. I lived through the blizzard of '77. This is worse. It's the veracity of the winds. It's life-threatening. If you don't have to be out, please don't go out. My deputies are doing a tremendous job, and like I said, I'm very proud of them. Proud of these agencies also that we are working together. The volunteer fire halls throughout the county, they've been tremendous. They stepped up. We've been networking with them. They've been a great asset, warming shelters, bringing the stranded individuals to them. So we are still trying. We are still conducting these rescues as we speak. They are out there with periodic rest, but also the patrol deputies are doing the same thing. They're doing the best they can in these patrol vehicles and getting to these people that need to be. Again, with that, I just want to say it's been a challenging time, interesting, but also very encouraging to watch these agencies work together. Merry Christmas, and thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for the tremendous work that was done by the, and still is being done by the Erie County Sheriff's Office and all the first responders. They are really in horrible, treacherous situations going out there to rescue individuals. And as was noted, sometimes the rescuers need rescuing because of how bad things are. So thank you for all that you've done. The phone numbers, the 911 is only for life-threatening circumstances. We have heard that the numbers to 911 have gone down, that only people mostly are calling for life-threatening circumstances. If you are in a life-threatening situation, you should call 911. We have the 716-858 snow number. This is for serious but not immediate life-threatening circumstances, such as you need to go get dialysis, you need medications. It is not a number to call to go to a warming center. It is not a number to call for food. It is not a number to call to have the National Guard pick you up or clean out your driveway. That's not what the National Guard does. The National Guard is on life-saving missions. We are just very, very inundated with phone calls that are not serious. They may be not great. Somebody's stuck in a car, we'll document that information, we'll pass it on to law enforcement, but what often happens is they'll come and they'll rescue someone who's stuck in a car, and then someone else will be driving on the roads when they shouldn't be and get stuck themselves. So it's just snowballing. It's the right word to use with regards to this blizzard. More and more people are going out in situations where they shouldn't. They don't have appropriate vehicles. We had one response of a smaller vehicle with ball tires that was blocking a main intersection that had just been cleared because it got stuck. This just can't happen, folks. We need you to be smart. We really need you to be smart and stay where you are. And if it is a life-threatening situation, call 911. If it is a serious but not immediate life-threatening situation, you can call 858-SNOW. But please know, we've been getting more than 400 calls to that number an hour, and it is taking time to get through the calls. It is taking time to respond. Many of the responses are such that we're not going to be able to assist you because it is not a life-threatening, immediate, serious situation. But we just want people to know the number is still there, but we're getting inundated with calls to the point it's making it difficult for us to even respond to the calls immediately, to the point where if you call, you might hear a busy signal because there's so many calls coming in per minute. Just want to talk about fatalities. There's a lot of rumors that are going out there about fatalities. The medical examiner's office can confirm 3 fatalities. The 2 from last night in the town of Cheektowaga and the one that was announced earlier today, an individual who was found frozen in the city of Buffalo. There are lots of rumors of additional fatalities. The medical examiner's office does not have confirmation of those fatalities. There may be other fatalities, and when there are, from the medical examiner's office, we will confirm them. But as of right now, we only have 3 confirmed deaths associated with the storm. Lots of rumors out there about other potential deaths, and as those, if they are real, and those bodies are collected, they will be taken to hospitals for identification, and then we will be able to confirm them to our medical examiner's office working with the hospitals. Let's hope that those rumors are just rumors and they're not true, because we are trying to get through this with as many, the least amount of deaths as possible, but unfortunately we've had 3 confirmed at this point. One final thing, it was mentioned by Greg Butcher. If you have a generator, please use it outside your house, 20 feet from the house, exhaust facing away from the house, and you need to clean your vents. You need to clean your gas vents from your furnace. You need to clean a dryer vent. Dryer vent alone itself can push back carbon monoxide from a gas furnace. So make sure that those are clean. If you can't do that, excuse me, please contact a neighbor, talk to a neighbor and see if they can get out there and clean it, especially before the overnight hours. Just once again, this is still a life-threatening situation. This is nothing to be trifled with. This is a blizzard that is going to be compared to the blizzard of '77, and when all is said and done, let's hope it's not as bad as the blizzard of '77 was, but the winds are actually stronger for this first 36-hour period than they were during the blizzard of '77. Let's just hope we get through this a lot quicker. As we said, a blizzard warning is still in effect till 7 a.m. tomorrow, though there is an expectation, even if the blizzard warning is lifted because the winds have subsided below 35 miles per hour for 3 hours straight, that doesn't mean everything's fine. We're still going to be in a significant lake effect snow with strong winds, which will be creating whiteout conditions. They just won't theoretically or technically be blizzard conditions. So we ask everyone to please still follow the driving ban. That'll help us get through this as quickly as possible. It will help us clear the streets as quickly as possible. It'll help us to get out there and rescue people who are in life-threatening situations. Just to all, I know for a lot of people, they would rather be somewhere else on this Christmas Eve. The best place you can be is home, safe. I certainly wish everyone who celebrates a Merry Christmas. This is not the Christmas we had hoped it would be, but the most important thing is that we can be with our families, if not tomorrow, the day after, or the day after that, and that we can all be safe. That is the most important thing, so that we can celebrate Christmas in our hearts every day of the year. With that, I will open it up to questions from members of the media. I will call each one individually, and if you can unmute yourself. We'll start with Kevin Jolly from Fox 29. Are you there, Kevin?
I don't have any questions,
Nope.
County Executive.
No questions, okay. We'll go to WKBW, Jordan Johnson.
Yeah, no, I don't have any questions for you, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then we will go to Jeff Praval from WIVB. Do you have any questions, Jeff? If you do, please unmute your phone. Any questions, Jeff? I guess not. This will be our last media advisory briefing for the evening hours. We will probably have one again in the morning tomorrow to update on what had occurred through the overnight hours. If conditions had worsened to a point where we needed to have additional media briefing, we would between now and the morning. Let's hope that it doesn't. We know it's not going to be good. The weather is still going to be a blizzard-like out there. The snow is going to move south slowly. It's kind of clear right now in Cheektowaga, though it's been very windy, so we're still getting whiteout conditions even though it's not snowing, but we're expecting that snow to come back into the Cheektowaga Buffalo area, slowly work its way down, eventually get into Orchard Park, East Aurora, Marilla by tomorrow. And even if theoretically the blizzard has been lifted, do expect the Weather Service to immediately do a lake effect storm warning and high wind warning because of the conditions that will continue for at least through tomorrow, Christmas Day. So thank you, be safe and well to all, and to those who celebrate, Merry Christmas. To those who are finishing the Hanukkah season, Happy Hanukkah, and let's just all get through this together so that we can all hopefully have a very happy new year. Take care, everyone.